Welcome to this module, which provides an overview of how to prepare for a mission, deploy and return safely. In this module, we will cover the steps you should take to prepare yourself for a deployment, including your personal, medical and contractual arrangements, the briefings you should make sure you receive when you arrive, and how to stay healthy in the field, and the steps you should take at the end of your deployment and when you return home. By the end of this module, you'll be able to describe key actions to prepare yourself for deployment and how to complete pre-deployment formalities and obtain administrative and medical clearance. Explain the arrival and departure processes as well as your entitlements as a deployee. And describe how to stay healthy during the deployment and on your return, including WHO's medical evacuation procedure. Some aspects of deployment can be stressful. Planning ahead and maintaining a healthy attitude can make you feel better prepared. It is advisable to meet with or telephone a WHO staff counsellor to discuss any concerns you may have. Take time to reflect and focus on your own objectives and motivation for the mission. Think about any needs you might have during your time away and what life will be like when you return home. Make sure you've made appropriate legal and banking arrangements. Complete the designation of beneficiaries and personal representative forms that you will receive from HR, and make sure that your banking arrangements are in order. You should ensure that you have money in your account, that any regular payments and bills will be paid while you're away, and that you can access funds in an emergency. Speak with your loved ones. Explain your mission and its importance. Encourage them to share their feelings about the mission with you. Make sure you know the details of where you're going and how you can be contacted in an emergency. Ensure that support is in place for your family, that there are arrangements in place for childcare, and that you sign any waiver documents necessary for medical treatment. Make sure insurance is in place, and make arrangements for how you will stay in touch with your loved ones during your mission. You will need the following documents: a passport valid for a minimum of 6 months beyond the date of your return to your home country, adequate health insurance, including adequate international medical expenses coverage, basic and advanced security in the field certificates, and other training modules as instructed, and a contract covering the full duration of your deployment. You will also need a valid visa if necessary, and security clearance must be received prior to your departure. Please note, for WHO staff and non-staff, including GORN deployees, travel will be arranged by WHO. Standby partner travel is arranged by the partner organisation. Make sure you understand your contract and your entitlements. There are different types of deployees working in the field with different entitlements. Internal global roster are WHO staff members drawn from across the 3 levels of the organisation who can be deployed for immediate response. External global roster includes experts who can be engaged on WHO contracts on an as-needed basis. And partnership rosters of available candidates maintained by partner agencies such as GORN and standby partnerships and the emergency medical teams. Pack appropriate clothing for the work you have to do. Clothes should be suitable for the climate and living conditions. You need to be mindful of cultural practices. Include a good pair of comfortable shoes and clothes for formal occasions and for visiting communities. Pack a travel medical kit. This will be issued to you, but bring your own routine medications if you have any, and make sure you have sufficient quantities. Bring a notebook and pen to keep a personal log of your deployment. This is good for your professional development and can contribute to after-action reviews. Pack your belongings in appropriate luggage that you can carry easily, and prepare a smaller grab bag or quick run bag. Being physically fit is important. Think of how you can keep up your fitness levels with limited resources in the field. You'll also need to mentally prepare for what lies ahead. Go online and research the country. Look at images. Pack something personal and important to you. Bring music that you like. Talk to someone about your fears, perhaps a friend or colleague who's not in part of your family. Identify a person or a buddy that you can call from the field to share experiences and challenges. This should not be a member of your immediate family. You will be informed about the medical clearance processes required for your deployment. In general, your fitness for deployment depends on your health and vaccination status being up to date for the designated country and context, the risks you might face during the mission, the health facilities available in the country. You should also make sure you address any health concerns and attend any regular appointments before your deployment. Remember, the purpose of medical clearance is to protect you, your colleagues, the organisation, and the country for which you'll be working. On arrival, you must complete a briefing checklist to ensure you have received appropriate briefings with country-specific information. The key contacts are the HR focal point, who will ensure you complete all your arrival formalities, the medical nurse or doctor, who will ensure you receive a medical briefing, a staff counsellor, who will ensure that you're briefed on stress management and the organisation's support systems, and the security team, who will make sure that you're provided with a security briefing and included in their security plan. In addition, you should meet with your line manager to clarify your role and tasks during the deployment. The following individuals are primarily responsible for coordinating your arrival and providing management and support during your deployment. The administrative officer will make all relevant administrative arrangements, for example, making sure you have accommodation, office space, and any required in-country travel. The WHO Country Office HR focal point is your designated focal point on all HR-related matters. Maintaining a healthy regimen is important for your physical and mental well-being. There are physical and psychological benefits to exercising during deployment, but be aware of any restrictions due to security or other reasons. Adapt your regimen. Sufficient hydration with safe water is important to prevent dehydration. Make sure you get adequate rest. Make sure that you always wear a seatbelt and try and avoid alcohol and stimulants. Report any accident or illness to your team leader and the medical service and follow the procedure in place. Practice good hygiene. Wash your hands and dry them with a clean towel or disposable napkin, or use a hand sanitizer. Ensure any water you drink is safe and check with the country office if unsure. Cover food and water and ensure that food is well cooked and hygienically prepared. Maintain house hygiene with regular disinfection. If basic needs in the field are not fulfilled, report them early to make sure that you can improve your work and living conditions. The brochure Get Ready for Deployment contains a lot of information about stress. Stress can be day-to-day, which is part of everyone's daily life, cumulative, resulting from prolonged exposure to stressors, or traumatic or critical incident stress. Working in emergencies can increase stress that you may face. This may be due to a heavy workload or inactivity, the presence of a threat, facing unfamiliar situations, feeling frustrated about not being able to meet the needs of the affected population, experiencing social isolation and poor communication, conflict within the team or hierarchy, a lack of living space and privacy, a feeling insecure or unsafe, facing situations that challenge your values or beliefs, separation from loved ones or friends, and worrying about what going home will be like. You should learn to recognize the effects of stress in yourself and your colleagues. Some common effects are concentration problems, memory loss, slow thinking, a lack of motivation or a feeling of loss. Physical symptoms such as headache, fatigue, back pain, muscle tightness, nausea, dizziness, or emotional, such as moodiness, a short temper, an inability to relax, feeling overwhelmed, lonely, or sad. There may also be behavioral signs, such as isolating yourself, eating more or less, irregular sleep patterns, and an increased alcohol consumption or nervous habits. Morale may be altered. You may experience disaffection, doubt, cynicism, or a loss of confidence. And you may find personal interactions difficult. You may experience tension and arguments, interpersonal conflict, or misunderstandings with colleagues. During your deployment, you can minimize the impact of stress by understanding the terms of reference. Don't try to achieve perfection. Be patient with yourself and ask for help if you need it. Strive for good communication with team members and leaders. Accept and express your feelings as normal reactions to challenging circumstances. And find someone with whom you can share your feelings. Read the Psychological First Aid Handbook, which is available at the following link. Remember, take care of yourself. You owe it to yourself and those who care about you. You will be given a contact list for health resources. If you encounter colleagues in stress, listen, ask about their needs, and try to connect them with resources. You are not alone. WHO deployees can count on support to deal with increased stress and anxiety. Refer to the resources under the Documents tab for further details. The purpose of WHO's Medevac procedure is to allow people working with WHO in the context of emergency response to secure essential medical care or treatment when it is locally unavailable or deemed inadequate. WHO ensures Medevac transport and treatment arrangements are made and paid for. The regional staff physician and the Staff Health and Wellbeing Services Director will determine the location of treatment. Costs will be recovered afterwards to the fullest extent possible, according to the individual contractual and insurance arrangements. And evacuation will be to the nearest location where adequate medical facilities exist. At the end of your deployment, it is essential that you prepare handover notes. This will help to ensure that the work you are doing can be continued if necessary, and that the lessons you've learned during your deployment can benefit your successor. In general, your handover notes must be cleared by your supervisor, the incident manager, or the head of country office. Before you depart, make sure you attend a post-deployment and technical and administrative debriefings. Ensure that you've completed your debriefing checklist, your end-of-mission technical report, and your performance evaluation, and submitted them to the HR focal point for submission to HQ. For consultants, payments of the final contract instalment will only be made once headquarters has received both of these reports. For staff on duty, performance evaluation will be attached to your overall EPMDS for that year. When you return home, make sure you communicate honestly and openly with people. Accept and share your feelings. Be patient with yourself and others. Take time to renegotiate your role at work and at home. Consider taking an extra day or two to recuperate before reuniting with loved ones so that you have time to adjust from the emergency experience to the home environment. Consider taking some time to rest before going back to work. Understand that your children may be shy or reserved towards you during the initial days following your return. Once you have returned, please continue to monitor your physical and mental health. You'll be provided with a list of services which both staff and non-staff can access. And if in doubt, you can always call one of the numbers below. Staff health and wellbeing services will ask to see you when you return. Ensure you contact them for a debriefing. That is the end of this module. Thank you for your attention. Additional resources can be found using the tabs below.